Massive news out of Calgary. The Flames have locked up their number one goaltender, Dustin Wolf, to a 7-year, $52.5 million contract extension that will carry an AAV of $7.5 million. Wolf finished second in Calder Trophy voting last season.
I'm excited. 8 more years here in the city, and I think there's a lot of exciting things coming from our team, from our staff, from our organization, from the new building coming in 2 summers, and there's a lot to look forward to here in Calgary, and I'm excited to be a part of it.
I think it's great news for Dustin and his family, and I think it's, selfishly for me, even better for our organization to have a younger, quality player locked up for long term. Like, we all know the type of goaltender he is, and I think we're just going to see him continue to get better and better for us along the way.
Everybody was very positive. They want to be here. They see where the team's headed, and obviously we're not exactly where we want to be yet, but these guys are going to be a big part of it moving forward. And I mean, even I think as we move forward, it sends a message to the rest of the league. Calgary's a place that we're trying to build something, and we want to win, and hopefully that even draws other people here.
A lot of great goaltenders in Calgary Flames history, but now Dustin Wolf is the highest paid goaltender in Calgary Flames history. Really stepped up big time as the full-time number one with the Flames last season. But you know what that music means? It's walkover time. We're heading over to the other side of the expansive Studio 9, where we bring you SportsCenter with Jay Onrait every single night. Here's Salim Valji, our Calgary Bureau Chief. Big news out of Calgary on Tuesday. First of all, Salim, I got to ask you, how was your summer?
It was awesome, Jay. I spent a little bit of it in Europe at a family wedding, which was lovely. My grandpa turned 95 years old, so we had a great get-together in Edmonton a few weeks ago, which was awesome. More recently, yesterday, my Calgary Rec Pickleball's doubles partner Spencer and I won not one, but both of our playoff matches to clinch 5th place in Rec Pickleball yesterday. So it was fantastic. It was a really dramatic season. Yep. Sometimes we were like Miller and Pedersen out in Vancouver, but we got through it. We became a team. It was awesome. He carried us a lot of the way. And the high still hasn't subsided 24 hours later, and yet here I am with you. So it's just, I'm on cloud 9, Jay. I won't lie.
I mean, I can't blame you. How much longer until you face maybe the most legendary TSN pickleball player, Craig Button, who happens to live in Calgary as well? How soon until you face him in a pickleball match for the ages?
I think we're birthing the idea as we speak, Jay. I'm sure there's going to be a charity component. Like, yes. We work for a broadcaster, you know what I mean? Like, we can make this wall to wall. I'm going to force Spencer to play. Craig can, it could be you and Craig versus Spencer and I. And it could be like match of the ages. It could be like the dream team in '92 in Barcelona. Like, there could be a last dance kind of component to it. Netflix. If we weren't famous before, we definitely maybe later on. So,
wow, this is exciting.
Let's put our thinking caps together.
Well, we remember the match between James Duthie and Jeff O'Neill, the golf match. I'm not really sure what's going on there, but we just keep that going on, but with pickleball. But let's get to the Calgary Flames. Enough with the pickleball. Dustin Wolf, 7 years, $52.5 million. Highest paid goalie in franchise history. $7.5 million on the AAV. When I first heard that number, I thought that seems high, but then you look at it and the cap's going up, and he had such a terrific season last year. It seems like a good number, not just for obviously Dustin Wolf, but for the Flames as well. Would you concur?
I concur, Jay. I think it's a fantastic deal because not only of the bet that both Wolf and the team are making with each other, but what it tells the league. And I was on your program a few months ago, and I said that had the Flames gotten into the playoffs, I think Wolf should have had outside consideration for the Hart Trophy as league MVP. That's how important he is to this organization. They had the 4th worst offense in the league a season ago, and a huge reason they were in the thick of the playoff race till game 81 is because of Dustin Wolf. And you look at how he prepares and his mental game and the fact he doesn't get fazed by situations. We've heard stories about him going into that locker room, Jay, after a tough period, after a tough game, and putting the onus on himself. And that's a room full of the likes of Uyghurs and Colemans and Kadris and Backlunds. And here's this young 20-something-year-old kid taking it upon himself. And today, Jay, Ryan Huska told a really cool story about how during one of the games versus San Jose and the team wasn't playing well, it was Dustin Wolf that skated by the bench and had some choice words for his teammates. This is as much about Dustin Wolf, the player, as it is about Dustin Wolf, the person. I think it's a big day for the organization and the player, and an American committing long-term to the Calgary Flames. The narrative is starting to shift over here.
It's great news for the Calgary Flames. And then sort of hanging around, though, is that other news about Rasmus Andersson. We've been talking about it really since last year. We thought he might get traded at last year's deadline. He did not. He stayed with the team. He's in the final year of a 6-year deal. The speculation is rampant that he will get traded before the end of the season. The rumors are out there. What's the latest on the Flames defenseman, Salim?
Well, I asked Rasmus about those rumors point blank today. I asked him, it's reported that you only have a certain number of teams or one team that you want to go to. And he denied it. He said he wouldn't handcuff Craig Conroy that way. And I believe him because those two men have a relationship that dates back a decade. They've been through thick and thin with one another. And it's sort of poetic in a weird way. Hey, Wolf signing long-term as a future franchise killer, if not already. And then Rasmus Andersson, who helped create the very culture that the likes of Wolf and Matt Coronado and Kevin Ball so desperately want to be a part of. Well, Andersson appears to have one foot out the door. I don't think it's going to be a distraction necessarily. I think Andersson should be commended for his work in creating an environment in Calgary, along with the other veterans that these young players clearly feel a part of. And the onus is on him to have a really good season. He referred to that today, Jay. He said that it might not have been the best news to re-sign after last season when he didn't play all that well, and I think was below dash 30. And, for him, there's the Sweden Olympic team and him wanting to have a big role on that. I say here, it's the fact this team got so close to the playoffs a season ago, and whether he's with the team or not, but them wanting to finish up. So there's a lot of reasons for Rasmus Andersson to play well, and I don't think it'll be a distraction.
Training camp kicks off next week. Are you ready, pal? Are you going to be out of pickleball mode and into hockey mode by then?
Pickleball mode is perpetual for me, Jay. So I'll reluctantly do the hockey, but the mind's always on the paddle. So I got to tell Craig now. So
I understand. Thanks for this, pal.